Hey guys, it's another video by me, Anthony Wu. And today we're going to explain some more code. So I'm going to share my screen. We go to NetBeans. And we go from the top. I think this is the first homework that we use methods, or different types of methods at least. All right. So, I'm recording. Okay. Line 2 is where we start. Import Java util scanner. This tells Java that we're going to use the scanner function to ask user for their input. And then, this class, or this homework in general, it takes in candidates' names and their amount of votes in arrays, and then outputs appropriate responses, pretty much. That's the public class, FAU elections. All right, so then we have two, yeah, I should probably say this. Constants, so I don't get a point off. So we have two global constants, size and percent convert. Size is how big the arrays are going to be, which in this case is 6. Percent convert is just the number we need to convert a decimal to a percentage. Okay, sorry, my cat's right next to me. All right, so then we have the main method. In the main method, it just calls all the other programs to call all other methods to execute the program, also including some variables I need in the main method to do so. All right, starting in the main method, we have, I think, 3 arrays. We have 3 arrays. One is string called SA names. This is going to hold all the names for the candidates and stuff, and size being the constant we have over here, which is 6. So it's like 6 in here. So that means the size of the array is 6. Integer NA votes is just going to be how much vote it corresponds with the name. And the integer type, and again, we use size. And then double DA% votes. This is a double because it can be possibly a decimal number. We call it DA% votes as per coding standards. Double size, again, 6. And then this one is just a normal integer called n total votes equals 0. It's just a variable to store the total amount of votes. Now, let's go to the methods. So first method I call is ask user. It's going to ask the users for their input and stuff. So in the parameters, we're going to put SA names and NA votes, which is the 2 arrays that we just declared. SA names being the names of the candidates and votes being the corresponding votes per candidate. Okay, so then let's go to the method ask user and see what it does. It's probably the most complicated one. All right, so ask user. If you remember, our first parameter was a string. So we have a string here, and we called it SA can names, just so it's named something different. This is the candidate's name. That's what can stands for. Then int NA can votes. This is the candidate's votes. And the way I like to format this is for each method, I begin with the variable list, and I state it as so in the comments. So variable list, scanner input equals new scanner dot system.in. This tells Java that we're going to use the key input from keyboards to get the data from the user. And then we have int n index equals 0. Sorry, give me 1 second. My cat wants to get out. Okay, I'm back. Okay. int n index equals 0. This just tells, or this just, I just use this as like a count function for for loops. So it's going to count how many times we use the for loop. And over here in the for loop, we're going to ask the user some input like their name and the votes that goes with the name. And then we're going to use size as how many times we're going to run it, which is the array number from the top. So it's all 6, so we want to run it 6 times. All right, and then n index plus plus just means we're adding 1 every time we run the for loop. Okay. System.out.print, please enter the candidate's name. It just prints the line, asking for a candidate's name. It's just what shows up on the console. And then when they type something in, we're going to store it in the array string SACAN names and index. Now we use an index instead of just saying a number because we want to correspond and increase the number in here so we get every container, I guess, in the array. So at first one is going to be 0, then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after 5, it's going to stop because remember, size is 6. And if you say 6 is less than size, no, not true. It has to be less than or equal to for it to work. So it's going to stop there, thus getting us all of the containers inside the array since the arrays start as 0. And then input.next is saying we're looking for a string variable. And we don't put next line because it screws it up for some reason. I don't know why. It hasn't been explained to me. Okay, and then system.out.println, please enter the number of votes. Okay, I'm noticing this is starting to drag a bit. So this is just what's going to print on the console. And then we're going to store whatever they put in the array NA can votes. So, and it's going to be of the integer type. So we're looking for an integer type for a person to type. And then we're going to create a space by creating system.out.println, and it's just empty. So it just prints a blank line for the formatting. This ends the for loop asking for user input, and then this ends the method ask user. Okay, so we did ask user. Now we're going to go to n total votes. This just calculates the votes, the total votes, and all of the and what the user just said or inputted, and stores it in n total votes. And we do that by calling this method calc total votes. And then we're gonna put the array NA votes to go through with the method as the parameter. Remember, NA votes actually contains all of the votes, but in like separate containers. So we're just gonna add all those up, as you'll see shortly. So calc total votes, see where it is right here. And we start with the variable list. And, oh wait, before that, we have an array inside the parameters, int, a brackets, and a sum. That's what we're going to be using. That's what passed to the NA votes. So NA votes goes into here, NA sum. I could probably have named that better, but wasn't thinking as well. Int and total sum is the total sum that we're going to return later. Int and index, again, is just accounting for the for loop. For n index equals 0, saying just in case, I don't know, good habit, I guess, that n index might have been changed to something before, so we always set it to 0 again. N index less than size, as previously explained, pretty much same thing happening. So here's what we're going to do. N total sum equals n total sum plus NA sum and index. I actually don't like the name of that at all. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to change it to, what did I name this? NA votes. I'm going to change it to NA, what did I say the other one? Can votes. I'll do votes can. Okay, there we go. Now it makes more sense. So we're just going to add whatever the total was previously every time the for loop runs, and that's candidate, and then we're going to do that, and it's going to correspond to index. So it's going to count again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stops at 5 because 6 is not less than 6. And that's pretty much how we calculate the total, and then we return n total sum, and that's why we have, because we return something, we want to assign it to a variable in the main method, and that is n total votes. Okay. The next one, call method, calc percent values. So this method just calculates the percentage of each vote. So, if there was 100 votes in total, 2 candidates, and it was split 50-50, it would be 50% and 50%. So let's go see what that does. All right, so we're gonna have the parameters int or arrays no calc votes or NA calc votes, DA percent votes, that's a double, and then an integer called n total. Int and index equals 0. Variable, same thing, counts for the for loop. And this is a for loop to calculate the percentage of votes. Pretty simple stuff. And index equals 0. Oh, well, same thing I did for all the other for loops. Yeah. DA percent votes and index. Basically, rule of thumb, whenever I put an array inside these for loops, I'm just going to use an index to follow through and go through everything all to get through all the containers for that array. And I do it here. So we're going to put the array DA percent votes. So it's going to calculate the percentage of votes for each corresponding array. So if it was 0, let's just say it's 0. So it's running for the first time 0. So we're looking at the 0 container. NA calc vote is 0 because n index is the same. So we're looking at the 0 container for the percent votes and 0 container for the votes casted for that candidate. And then we're going to divide it by the total. That's how you get the percentage, right? So, but we cast it to double because it's an integer and an integer and another integer, and we want a double. So in order to have it equal a double, we have to cast one of them into a double, and I just chose n total. And percent convert is the other constant all the way at the top, which is just 100. Okay, and that ends the method for calc percent votes. Where were we? Okay, then super easy. This homework has been super easy. Didn't take me that long to do. Call method display results. Now this is just going to be like the summary type page. Oh wait, do this so I can find it easier. Okay, here we go. So we're going to accept the string, a string array, an integer array, and a double array. And it's going to be the name of the candidates, the votes per candidate, and the percentage from those votes. Int index just to count the for loop. And then we're just going to display the header first. So it's just going to be a blank line because I realize it needs 2 spaces. And then, or I think it needs 2 spaces. System.out.println line is just a header. I can't figure out how to make the columns all nice and neat, so it's going to be a bit messy, but this is the best I can do. For loop that displays results. Same for loop, like header, this part, same thing that I did before. System.out.println line, I'm going to print the candidate's name, some spaces, the votes for that candidate, some spaces, and the percentage of that vote with the percentage or symbol right here. Ends that for loop, and that ends at this method for display results. And then we're going to do another method, display total, right here. Public static void display total. We're just going to take in the end sum or the total from the main method, and then we're going to just do print total, and then some space, and then the actual total that we got from the method and from that main method from the, if it was calc total or something, calc total value. Yeah, okay. So that's where we got it from. And I'm gonna do a quick example of to show you that it works. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna run it for you. So I don't know if you want to run it yourself, but hopefully this saves you some time. I don't think anyone really watches through all this, but just in case, it makes your life easier. Okay, Michael, don't leave me here, Michael. If you're familiar with that meme. 3,000. There you go. Not as neat as the example, because depending on the length of the name, it pushes the other ones. Don't really know how. I looked at the example for in the files. Does not make sense to me, but I'll try to figure out some other time. As you can see here, all the numbers add up. It's all the same. 30, 10, 7, 12. Yep. Beep, 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 beep. This homework wasn't too hard. All right, this video is dragging on. So another quick look at what I did. Ooh. And here you go. I don't know if this will help. Maybe. I'm quite proud of this. All right. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I get 100. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.